This story that I found on Block Club Chicago, I thought was hopeful, optimistic. This comes to us from Jamie Nesbitt Golden, Bronzeville on the near south side. Chicago Beyond gives $1 million to Black and Brown led groups, including Bronzeville-Kenwood Mutual Aid. Several Black and Brown led Chicago community groups are receiving the financial help they need to continue helping neighbors, thanks to Chicago Beyond. The impact investor gave $1 million to 25 organizations under a first round of funding from its Rapid Response Fund, designed to give unrestricted dollars to those often overlooked in terms of financial support. Good, no means testing. The grants targeted individuals and groups taking on issues like housing, food insecurity, and violence prevention. Chicago Beyond aims to give $3 million through the fund. Recipients include Bronzeville-Kenwood Mutual Aid, 360 Nation, Blocks Together, Coalition for Urban Girls, Burst Into Books, and Chai Fresh Kitchen / Urban Growers Collective. Groups were chosen with the help of Chicago Beyond's People's Assembly, a group of residents plugged into their respective communities who provided advice and insight. For Bronzeville-Kenwood Mutual Aid, the $20,000 grant from Chicago Beyond couldn't come at a better time. Need has only grown in the communities it serves since the group was founded in March of 2020. The Mutual Aid Group hosts weekly activations at the Chicago Defender building in Grand Boulevard, giving away food and other basic necessities. Group member Cosmos, who declined to give his last name, told Block Club he sees a new face each week. We're helping people with rent, with utility bills, getting them to doctor's appointments, Cosmos said. Requests for help from the Bronzeville-Kenwood Mutual Aid Group came from residents as far as Roseland. No one is turned away, as the group relies on the honor system, trusting the person on the other end is in true need. We have 8 outstanding requests for eviction help last week. That may not seem like a ton, but it adds up, Cosmos said. Cosmos estimates the team spends $7,000 a month on efforts to keep their neighbors fed and housed. The bulk of that money is provided by folks who also live in the community. Can't we shift the money that the McCaskies want for their Arlington Park deal into what they're doing here? I know that sounds too logical, but
that makes too much sense.
It makes too much sense. Of course, everything we say here makes too much sense. That's why it never is put into action. In turn, those neighbors pay it forward by helping others. While there has been criticism about the effectiveness of mutual aid groups, particularly by those who don't see it as radical enough, I would say, hey, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. It's a good start. The Bronzeville-Kenwood Mutual Aid Group has seen an immediate impact. For organizers, it's simple. Providing help without strings or barriers strengthens the community by giving residents a purpose, something in which they can invest. I welcome all criticism. Accountability is one of the highest forms of love. If I'm accountable to you, that means that you have an opportunity for us to do better, and vice versa, Cosmos said. We're at a point of reckoning, and we need to go further. A toast to Cosmos. I think that particular sentiment is at the root of all the criticisms that anybody is doing to hold any group accountable to actually fulfilling what their purposes or their claim purposes. This is an inspiring story, and I was glad to see it reported.
Yeah, I'm really glad. I'm remembering, one of Kit's kidisms, I guess. It's just everyone's one bad day away from homelessness.
Yeah.
This is a place you can go to that you feel a lump, probably should see a doctor, you're out of food, and you would prefer not to go steal from someone else. Probably really help. A group like this, organized in the way that they are, probably saves like a dozen people a month from falling a much further distance than they are, and just at least keeping them at least. It's not a thing that's structured to really help people like move upwards, but at this point in time in America, the fact that they're doing what they're doing, I think is fantastic. I think that this kind of thing is good. I also think that groups like this exist in the first place is a failure of the American system.
Well, a salute to Chicago Beyond, and hopefully more groups will be providing that kind of aid in other communities across the city, since our city council and city government can't quite seem to follow the example that they set, unfortunately. But hey, it's a good start.
Maybe the city can send cops to watch over the process.
Right. That's exactly what the city would do.